Welcome to r/payback. Hi Reddit, I'm a 27-year-old woman, and this past week I found myself at the center of what can only be described as a full-blown family scandal. I didn't cheat, I didn't steal, I didn't even yell. All I did was bring my boyfriend, who just so happens to be TikTok's beloved hot bunny daddy, Ditsa, on our annual family vacation. And now half my relatives have blocked me, my mom won't speak to me, and my cousin turned the whole thing into a meme. I wish I were joking. My boyfriend, Leo, 32 million, well, he's not like other guys. He's a rabbit rescue owner and content creator. You may have seen him online brushing fluffy bunnies in slow motion or whispering things like, "You're safe now, little one," while shirtless. That's his niche. He's gentle, vegan, tattooed, and really freaking hot. He also brings his bunnies everywhere, even on trips. It's just who he is. So, when my family planned a trip to the Smoky Mountains and said I could bring a +1, I asked, "Are you sure it's okay if I bring Leo?" My mom texted, "Of course it'll be fun." But the moment we showed up at the cabin, I could feel the air shift. My uncle stopped mid-chew. My stepbrother whispered, "Is this the guy with the bunnies?" And my aunt blinked like she was trying to reboot her brain. That's when I knew something was about to go very wrong. Leo and I met last year at a spring farmer's market. I was trying to buy sourdough. He was there with a booth full of bunnies for adoption. One of them jumped onto my sandal, and the rest was kind of history. We started talking, then dating, and I quickly found myself in this beautiful little bubble of peace, calm, and, well, fur. He lives a lifestyle most people don't understand. He doesn't just rescue rabbits. He rehabilitates them, socializes them, even fosters special needs cases. His home smells like eucalyptus and oat hay. He drinks tea, reads poetry, and wakes up at 6 a.m. to do bunny yoga in the sun. His entire wardrobe looks like it was curated from a linen shop on a Greek island. And online, people love him. His TikTok is huge, over 500,000 followers. He goes viral weekly for things like cuddling a bunny in a hammock or bottle-feeding orphaned kits. He's been featured in BuzzFeed and some random French magazine. But not everyone gets it. Some of my friends think it's quirky cute. A few have straight up asked if he's in a cult. My dad, who I'm not very close to, once called him the granola bunny whisperer in front of my grandmother. But Leo's never been anything but respectful and kind, even when people are weird about him. He's used to being misunderstood. So, when this family vacation came up, my mom, stepdad, 2 cousins, my sister, her husband, and a few kids, I asked twice to make sure it was okay. I even clarified, he'll probably bring Marshmallow and Jet, his emotional support bunnies. They're really well trained. My mom responded, "It's fine, as long as they don't chew the furniture." I didn't think it'd be a big deal. Leo's quiet, helpful, and not the kind of guy to make scenes. Turns out, just existing was enough to set people off. We arrived on a sunny Sunday afternoon. Leo stepped out of the car in his usual relaxed style. Open linen shirt, soft brown sandals, hair tied in a low bun, and Marshmallow in a front carrier like a baby. Jet was nestled in a backpack with a mesh front. I thought we looked chill, maybe even cute. My mom? She looked like she just swallowed a thumbtack. She smiled, tight, fake, way too wide, and said, "Oh, wow, you guys made it." My cousin whispered something to her boyfriend, and they both snorted. My stepbrother just said, "Dude, is that a rabbit in a papoose?" Leo laughed politely and said, "Her name's Marshmallow. She's our oldest rescue. She likes to travel." No one really responded. Inside, Leo offered to help unpack. He brought eco-friendly cleaning supplies, offered to carry the cooler, asked if there were any allergies before opening bunny snacks. But instead of appreciating him, people just stared. My aunt whispered, "Is he going to do this all week?" I asked what this meant, and she said, the vibe. Things got worse when the kids swarmed him. They loved the bunnies. Leo let them gently pet Marshmallow and Jet, taught them how to hold a rabbit correctly, and even braided my niece's hair with clover flowers while the rabbits napped. My sister pulled me aside and said, "Okay, this is cute, but also, are we doing this every day?" I told her I didn't understand. "It's just Leo," I said. Later that evening, we were sitting around the fire pit, and Leo asked if anyone would mind if he lit a stick of natural citronella to keep bugs away. My uncle loudly groaned. "Oh God, is it going to smell like incense and weed all week?" He wasn't even trying to joke. Leo just nodded and tucked it away without saying anything. I sat there, my cheeks burning. They hadn't even given him a real chance, and already I could feel them closing ranks. I told myself it would get better the next day. I was very, very wrong. The day after our awkward arrival, Leo surprised everyone by volunteering to cook dinner. He was excited to share one of his favorite vegan recipes, a roasted vegetable and lentil stew infused with herbs he grew himself. "It's simple, but really hearty," he said, beaming as he chopped carrots and zucchini in the kitchen. At first, my family seemed curious. My mom even asked for the recipe. But once dinner was served, the atmosphere changed. My uncle took one bite, then made a loud face and said, "What is this? Rabbit food?" Everyone laughed, except Leo, who quietly asked if he could explain the ingredients. Before he could finish, my stepbrother chimed in, "Yeah, I'm good. I'll stick with my burger." The kids poked their food suspiciously. My sister muttered, "I miss real food." I felt my cheeks flush. "It's vegan," I said softly, trying to lighten the mood. "Leo's food is really healthy. You should give it a chance." My mom gave me a warning look and said, "Sweetie, maybe next time just stick to what people like." Leo smiled through it all and said, "I understand. I can cook something else tomorrow." I wanted to scream, but instead I took a deep breath and said, "Thanks, Leo. Let's just eat, okay?" That night, I lay awake wondering why everyone was so closed off. Was it really about the food, or was there something bigger happening? The tension was growing, and I could feel it like a weight pressing down on my chest. The next morning, Leo had a new idea to lighten the mood. "How about some morning bunny yoga?" he asked me quietly. It was a gentle, playful activity he sometimes led at the rescue center to help people relax and connect with the animals. I agreed, hoping it might soften my family's attitude. Leo set up mats in the living room, brought out Marshmallow and Jet, and started guiding us through slow stretches while the bunnies hopped around. At first, my niece smiled wide and my sister even tried to pose, but most adults sat stiffly, exchanging sideways glances. My uncle rolled his eyes, whispering, "This is ridiculous." Then, I caught my cousin sneaking out his phone, filming the whole thing. The next day, the video popped up on social media with a caption like, "When your aunt's boyfriend turns the family cabin into a bunny cult." I was devastated. Leo's face fell when I showed him the video. "I just wanted to share something peaceful," he said quietly. I didn't mean to make anyone uncomfortable. But I could see the hurt in his eyes, the same way I felt inside. We both wanted to escape that house and its cold stares. That afternoon, I overheard my mom saying to my sister, "This is why I told her to leave the bunnies at home. She's making us all look ridiculous." I clenched my fists. The humiliation was real, and I was done pretending everything was fine. That evening, I asked my mom to talk privately. I needed to understand how things had gone so wrong. She sat stiffly on the porch, crossing her arms like she was guarding a fortress. "You're embarrassing the family," she said bluntly. Bringing Leo, his bunnies, the yoga. It's all too much. People are talking. Your cousins think you're showing off or trying to make a statement. I shook my head, hurt and angry. I'm not trying to make a statement. I love Leo. He's kind and he's part of my life. Why can't you accept that? She sighed, then said, because this isn't normal. It's weird, and it makes the rest of us look bad. We're supposed to be a family, but you're pushing us away. My voice cracked. Maybe it's not me pushing anyone away. Maybe it's your judgment. Later, I found Leo sitting on the porch steps. He looked exhausted, but still held my hand. I heard some of what you said, he whispered. I don't want to cause problems for you. I know, I said, but I won't let them treat you like this. We agreed that maybe this vacation wasn't what we hoped for. The tension had built into something toxic. We packed quietly that night, deciding to leave the next morning. As we drove away from the cabin, I stared out the window, heart heavy but relieved. I knew standing up for Leo meant losing some family connections, but I also knew I wouldn't trade him for anything. Back home, the silence between Leo and me was heavier than I expected. We didn't argue, but the tension hovered like a thick fog. I knew he was hurting from the rejection and ridicule, and I was struggling with guilt. Had I made a mistake bringing him to the family trip? Scrolling through my phone, I saw a flood of messages from relatives. Some texts were carefully polite. Hope you're both okay. Family can be tough sometimes. And a few even admitted, maybe we overreacted. But many others were harsh, making cruel jokes about Leo and his bunnies, calling him the odd one out, and mocking the yoga video. In the family group chat, the conversation was divided. Some cousins supported me, saying, you deserve to be happy with whoever you love. But others posted snide comments and memes, making me wonder if I'd forever be seen as the weird relative. Despite the mixed messages, a small part of me was relieved. I realized I didn't need everyone's approval to be happy, but I also couldn't shake the sadness that my family, the people I grew up with, couldn't accept this part of my life. Leo held my hand one evening and said, we'll get through this. It's just a rough patch. I nodded, knowing that outside those texts and judgments was a love I didn't want to lose, but I still felt torn, caught between two worlds that seemed impossible to blend. The emotional toll hit me hard in the days after. I kept replaying every moment, the looks, the comments, the jokes, wondering if I was selfish for bringing Leo. Maybe I had ignored the unspoken rules of family gatherings, or maybe I had been naive thinking they'd accept him. I questioned myself. Was I wrong for not reading the room better? For expecting my family to be more open-minded? I was proud of my relationship and wanted to share that happiness, but I felt alienated and misunderstood. Was I really the butthole here for standing up for my partner, or was I the one causing drama by disrupting family traditions? I didn't want to cause pain or embarrassment, but I also didn't want to hide who I was or who I loved. So, here I am, asking for an honest judgment. Am I the butthole for bringing my hot bunny daddy on vacation? Did I cross a line by mixing my worlds, or did my family just fail to embrace something new and different? I want to do right by everyone, but can I do that without losing myself? That wraps up today's episode of r/Payback. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to subscribe for more epic stories.